I see no reason as to not play two strong teams against both. Really, these are as a footballer, these are the parts in the season you're relishing being a part of, man. So we'll have to see what go on for that one, really and truly. Quickly, people, because we've been doing so much chatting and stuff like that. Let's get into the tactical review, people, really quickly of the game, people, really quickly. Let me share my screen with you guys, because again, we've done so much waffling, we ain't even spoken about that. So let's get into it. Like I said, we won 4-2. Probably at a push second half. We how can I make it make sense? We made it harder than it need to be. We conceded 2 cheap goals, in my opinion. I do think ultimately Leeds, if they're looking back at the game, their slow start to the game, and maybe for Bielsa, I know he made a couple of changes to his side in defense. Maybe he wish he just kept it basic, but we did probably expect to see this sort of formation of 4-1-4-1, 11 men behind the ball from Leeds at some point. And we got that. Remember, I told you lot in the preview, it's a game for the ballers. That's why, you could see us early on. You knew what time it was, people. It was in their half. This is one thing I liked. I really liked our pressing. A man said, RIP the magnet board. Nah, bro. It's still tugging. Still out here, man. He's good. It's just, this is the new thing for now. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was a madness holding that in my hand and all of this sort of thing, people. So like I said, people, when you've got a low block, this is, whether you want to call it a low block or how do I make it make sense? Whether you want to call it a low block or a well-engined unit, we've had problems breaking those things down. We couldn't break down Palace. We couldn't break down Villa. Going into it against Leeds, yes, they're a bit more open on the transition and things like that, and they give you something, but they were going to, off the ball, we knew what to expect. 4-5-1 out of possession, 11 men behind the ball, and how you broke that down is crucial. And I must admit, Bamford, I thought you would have set it from the front. He was a bit clueless in the game. I really respect our pressing. Remember in the preview, I told you, look, we'd expect something like this, and I saw it. You had what's his face. You all saw it as well. Apologies. You had Cedric, you had Bellerin less so, but you had them providing width. You had our centre halves. You had Xhaka and Ceballos for me, who did very well. Man said Lacazette, Aubameyang leading for the line. You had Smith Rowe in the holes. Floating in between these half spaces, just offering, going around and making little triangles and stuff like that. Odegaard made his first start, as you lot know. We had Saka off the right, and we was doing all right. And primarily, this is what you saw in the first 10 odd minutes. People, they couldn't get out of their half. What they were doing, they couldn't get out of here. People, they did. You're right, Cam. They did miss Calvin Phillips a lot. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. But they couldn't get out of their half. Clearly we worked on how we're gonna press them because the balls were just going long. Let's exaggerate Bamford a bit. Now, we was winning these battles. It's just coming straight back to us. If we didn't win the first ball, we had men around to win the second. You get it? So I think we worked on something all week and we worked very well. They couldn't distribute. How many times did Milier try get it out to my man and it didn't bang? In fact, that's where the goal first came from. Not to scale, but they've played a long ball. Ceballos has actually somehow regained it. He's played it to Xhaka. Now, if we remove Smith Rowe for a second, put him deeper here. If you lot remember, again, not to scale, eventually it's falling to Aubameyang. Let's tuck you in and make you a bit narrow. It's falling to Aubameyang. He's set man with a little shimmy, and step overs, and he smashed it in. But why have we got that goal, people? Because we're pressing, because we're setting up traps like with Pep Guardiola's City team. We're setting up traps. If you play it short, we're on them. We're squeezing. We're on them. If you play it to your centre halves, we're on them. You play it to Alioski where it went to a couple of times, Saka is on them. How many times did you see Saka involved in goals? Saka is involved in the last 2 goals of the first half just from pressing, people. Literally. So I was really impressed with the pressing. That's the main thing for me. Obviously, I was impressed with the football. It was a game for the ballers. We played our technical footballers and we did what we needed to do. So 1-0 was lovely to exploit. Now, again, once again, there's no options for them. There's no options and things like that. And I really was impressed. Where is it, people? I think it's this one I meant to show you. Apologies. I think I've actually, on this, I showed you the example I was meant to show you on that. So we've covered that. Playing out from the back. What did I say in my preview? I said Milier is a good goalkeeper, but one thing his problem with, he makes mistakes. And when we was pressing them, we're presenting issues. You saw whenever it went out to Alioski, Saka is pressing him. But you saw dwelling on the ball just from pressing. How many times did he kick it long and it was just to his man and we'll intercept it, or it's just coming straight back to us? We'll recycle it to Leno. Leno will distribute it. But, it's all about pressing. just from Saka pressing, he should have had a penalty before, but just from Saka pressing, he's got onto him. You know, keepers of modern day, they all think they're the best ball players in the world. You've got Edison wanting, Edison with lovely assists and wanting to take penalties and things like that. Just from Saka pressing, he's got a penalty because my man has fancied himself there. He's taken a touch, he's got caught lacking, and he's done the business. So we've got 2 of our goals have been the result of pressing and capitalizing on Leeds' slow start and them moving stupid, people. We took advantage of that. I really respect that in that regards, people. Moving away from that, though, the third goal was atrocious. Again, Alioski, again, as well, the first penalty incident, before I forget, how did we not even get a free kick? Because Alioski is pulling him down way before, is it Dallas or whoever pulls down Saka for the first penalty we didn't get? I didn't understand it. And there was numerous times Alioski is pulling Saka. But Alioski, as a fullback, I can't understand what he was doing, because as a fullback, show man down the line. The only time you show man inside is when you're here, because in theory there'll be more crowded shirts for him to run into. You don't, especially when Saka is a left footer on the right hand side, you're showing him inside. You saw what Saka was on. Saka just breezing past, man, doing a Mazza, doing his best to be like Iron Robin. It eventually went out to Aubameyang. Aubameyang's kept it alive. These 2 centre halves are playing man on side. Bellerin's awake. Odegaard has kept it alive. Smith Rowe, apologies, has kept it alive. Odegaard as well. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Ceballos is actually was it Ceballos or Odegaard? One of them nuts is someone with a pass, and Bellerin of all people is there to finish. Again, that was a poor amount of defending. That was terrible defending from Leeds. That was up there with some of the defending we've done historically this season. It was up there with Thingy as well. Manchester United against Sheffield, where Sheffield scored their second goal. Like, they're chasing shirts. These lot, if these lot step out, man, are offside. It was poor, and we've taken advantage of Leeds' poor start. It was lovely to start strong and actually score, people. But the main thing was pressing. Pressing is a big part as to why, we've got why we've actually, why we've got 3 goals in this first half and a clean sheet. So we're doing the business in that regards. In that regards, obviously, I don't need to show it to scale as well. We went ahead through great play from, where is it? We closed something we're not supposed to be closing there. That's Amazon. I think I closed one, people. Apologies, but I don't need to go over Aubameyang's goal. Aubameyang's hat-trick goal. You all saw it. Again, we're catching them out. Simply put, people. I feel like I'm doing you lot an injustice, so I might go over it. Let me just check I'm not missing out anything, people, as well. In fact, we might as well. What one can I take it from? Can I copy and paste here? Apologies, people. 1 sec, because as you lot can see, one's been deleted. So let's copy and paste this. Slap it here. Yeah, let's slap it here. Okay, cool. That's the first goal we conceded. Now, if you lot remember, if we just go back over here and say that's Leeds again, if we just focus on the 4th goal we scored on our last, people, the short of it is, really and truly, it's been a fantastic break. It's been a fantastic break from us, people. And I think Saka's actually tried to shoot. If you lot remember rightly, Saka's tried to shoot. It's cannoned off of Donny. Helder Costa's there. Helder Costa is lacking him. Helder Costa is absolutely lacking in possession, people. He's disarmed for the ball. Simply put, he's disarmed for that football. Obviously, Smith Rowe's got it. He's racing forward, obviously pretending that this ain't Saka anymore and it's Aubameyang. The thing already. The ball's gone in. He's headed it home. It's 4-0 in that regards. If we go to the goals we conceded, though, people, you're right. The Meg pass with Ceballos, lovely pass from Ceballos. Love for the shortcut help, people. But focusing on the goal we conceded, people, I'm not gonna lie, again, not to scale. I don't think Saka deserves to be killed for it. We love Saka, but the energy was different when Pepe switched off against Southampton and Everton. Forgive me if I'm wrong. A cross comes in. I did think David Luiz could have read it better, but their goal scorer, who is a threat from set pieces, I'm sure he's proved that before. Saka's left him. It's too easy. He's just got in there and boomed it home. It's as simple as that. It's a poor goal to concede. We've conceded from a set piece as well, people, where Leeds don't score from set pieces. So in Arsenal fan fashion, we've allowed them to score. And I think that was Donny's first goal. Now, the second goal we conceded was disappointing for me because you could see the Rafinha run from early. You could see it from early. He checked in and then checked out. And I do think in that regards, maybe Saka, Bellerin and Smith Rowe could have organized that. I mean, Saka, Bellerin, Ceballos could have organised that one there a bit better, people. I don't think they organised that a bit better. You know, someone could have dropped off. But either way, again, not to scale. Bellerin has switched off. It's a lovely ball fizzed in behind Bellerin. Rafinha's gone, and Rafinha's had a quiet game, but he's sniffing little bits here and there, bits and pieces. I think Bellerin switched off. I'm not gonna lie, Jacques. Like I said, I think Saka, Ceballos, and Bellerin all could have done better. Xhaka has had a good game, but he switched off, and Helder Costa just simply continued his run like you've seen. Eventually, he's pulled it in, and he kind of makes up for being, for me, at fault for them conceding their fourth. So we did what we did, man. We did what we did. I would have loved, I think it was a good game. For me personally, the pressing is what I loved. Obviously, shout out to Aubameyang for his hat-trick. Is getting 200 career goals across the top 5 leagues, getting a hat-trick, and good for his form and all the things he's been going through. Saka and Smith Rowe was good. Obviously, Odegaard didn't set the world alight, but in little bits and pieces, he was good in the game for me. Just the 2 goals we conceded was a bit poor. We took our foot off the gas, maybe allowed Leeds in periods of the game into it a bit too much. Like I said earlier in my review, I did think when we scored our first, from minute 13 to minute 23, we probably allowed them a bit too much in it. So I think they deserved their 2 goals. As I said at the start of this tactical review, maybe Leeds looking at it themselves, they'll rue not starting quicker and maybe unnecessary changes that they made. But it is what it is. For Arsenal, it is what it is. We go marching on. If we look at some quick statistics and all of those sort of things, people, big up the Twitter accounts, Shaqwa and Orbino and all them guys who do all the up to Joe, all the statistics. Arsenal scored 4 shots from just 5 on target against Leeds. So again, I remember I said it. We scored all them goals and we exploited their mistakes, but I still didn't think we necessarily tested Millionaire. So there's a lot more to come in that regards. I think we could have been more clinical even in the first half, people. So 5 shots could do a lot more. I think David Luiz had a good game, so I'm not reading into the statistics, but he lost the ball. He lost possession 21 times, very high for a centre-half and 3% higher than Leno. Again, there's got to be some context to that. And I don't think Luiz had a bad game. He was charging forward and emptying there. Leeds have conceded the joint most penalties in this season. It should have been 8 because I don't see how the first one isn't given. I'm not going to lie. I watched that several times over. They've conceded the most joint-headed goals in the Premier League. So it's lovely to see we exploited 2 of those. I think that might be 5 for Smith Rowe now, but Smith Rowe's done his thing and he's better than Willian in that regards. He's, big money. Well, typically big money. James Rodriguez and Hakim Ziyech, they're household names in football, so he's doing all right. Aubameyang has scored 7 goals in his last 5 at the Emirates, so he seems to still love playing at home. It's a bit of a weird one, But Lacazette is the one bagging away, and Aubameyang is the one scoring at home. That's his first Premier League hat-trick for Arsenal, and I think his second overall for us. I know he's got a hat-trick in the Europa League. Today was good, or yesterday was good, but prior to that, people, we had scored just 4 goals in 11 home games in the first half this season, people. So we've been a bit of, we've started well. We had the scoreline to kind of reflect that. Big up everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Arsenal sadly haven't kept 4 consecutive clean sheets in the Premier League at the Emirates since May 2017, and we failed to do that. I mentioned it earlier, but Willian, considering he came off the bench, he managed to do worse than Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe lost it 5 times across 62 minutes. Willian lost it 5 of his 10 touches coming on in the 62nd minute. So I think that's pretty telling in that regards, people, really and truly. So that's that from a tactical review. That's all I've got to speak about in relation to the game.